Give you a second here to join. Thank you for attending our town hall this week. I'm joined today with all of our client managers, our client manager team here. They are going to go over some of our CRM tools and how we can use them. Camilla is traveling for an event this weekend, so I'm hosting as well as our CMs this week. So thank you all, CMs, for being here, and thank you clients for being here as well. And if you're watching, thank you for watching. So we're going to take the first 30 minutes or so and show you a couple features of the CRM. And then at the last 30 minutes, we'll either go in depth a little bit more of what we're showing or answer any questions you have and just give you the floor to ask questions and show a little bit more in-depth tutorials of anything with the CRM if needed. So first we have Willie, one of our client managers, that is going to showcase the opportunities. Feel free to utilize the chat here as we go, and as well unmute if you have questions directly as we're going through. All right, Willie, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Willie. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I will start by the opportunities, which is a very important option in the CRM because it gives us the option to customize the features we have. I mean by the feature, the contact cards. So what is the admission pipelines or what is the opportunities? Each time any web visitor will fill the form on your website, the automation will create a contact list, a contact card, under a certain admission pipeline. And the admission pipeline will have different stages. Under each stage, you will have a contact card. For example, if I will visit a website and schedule a tour, workflow will send me an email that you already confirmed your tool. I will create a contact card having all my names and details and everything. So customize the pipeline. Yes, if I go to the pipeline, admission pipeline, I can rename the pipeline. I can delete the stage. I can create another stage and rename the stage, or I can even the stage right and left using this arrow. And for the contact card itself, can I customize it? Yes, it's very customizable. If I will click on Manage Fields, I already added these fields. If I will go to contact details or other details, I can email, phone number, contact, created on last stage, updated. Another important feature in the pipeline, if I click on these three dots, I can export the whole data in Excel sheet. I can even import new contacts to my pipeline state. Another feature I can do, if I move the card to another admission stage, like if I will move this one to here, I can generate an email, okay, to this contact card that we already, thank you so much for your tour. Okay, and here is a post tour email for you, or if I want to have a survey or anything, so you don't have to write it manually. The last thing, this pipeline, it will be connected to your dashboard. If you go to the dashboard, funnels, you can see all the values here. This is just like a demo CRM, so there is no values. That will be all from my end, and thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Willie. So that was just a little tidbit about our opportunities. You can have a chance to ask some questions here after at the end here. So next we're going to hand it to Patricia. She's going to talk about the workflows and the automation.
Perfect. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to share my screen. Just one quick. Okay, just 1 second. It's coming up. Okay. Elizabeth, I'm having an issue sharing my screen, so I'm just going to go out and enter the meeting again.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have Mercedes go ahead next then while Patricia's rejoining. Mercedes, do you mind talking about our email marketing campaigns?
No, not at all. So let me share my screen really quick. And I'm going to help you create an email marketing campaign. This is very helpful for every school to send out different emails, different communications about events, news, or anything that you would like to share with prospective or current parents. It's only important to mention that this feature, you need to enter your credit card. This is something very easy to do, and because emailing does have a cost, but it's less than 1 cent per email. If you need help with this, just reach out to your CM and we'll be more than happy to help you with adding your credit card information to the CRM. So the first thing you need to do is once you're in your CRM account, go to the marketing section in the left side and right next, go to emails and select template from the drop-down. Then you'll need to click here on the blue button that says new. Click here and make sure that you click on create on blank template here and design editor. This design editor is a drag and drop kind of tool, so you don't need any previous experience with coding or anything like that. So just make sure to click select and you'll be able to add different elements. We already have a template plan for this meeting, so I'm going to use this town hall sample template, but the process is pretty much the same. So I'm going to edit this one. You can call this template as you prefer and just make sure that you are using the right template. So once you're in your template, it will be completely blank and you can remove or add new elements. If you wish to remove an element, just scroll your mouse over and click on the trash can and this will be deleted. For example, I'm going to delete this text right now. And you can select, for example, if you would like to add a picture, just go to the element section right here in the left side. You have different options: text, image, buttons, logo, divider, social. So let's go with image. If you want to add an image right here, click where right now you don't need to do anything because this is just a template. So you just need to create the layout that you want to use later. So let's say that you are happy with this layout. Before I move on, I would like to mention that you have different layout designs. For example, if you want to use 2 columns as here, you just need to drag and drop this element to your email. And once you're happy with your overall layout, click on Save Template and go back to the marketing section, then go to emails and campaigns. Let's create a new one, just the same, it's new and your templates. And you will choose Town Hall template because this is the template that we already created. And for example, let's say that you want to add a new image here. Just go here and click upload from media library. Just make sure to, if you don't have anything here, it's okay. Just click on upload. This will open a new window on your computer. You go to the right place and select the picture that you want to use. I'm uploading a picture right now. I'm going to click on copy link. So this is not very straightforward on the CRM, but it's not hard to do. On the image URL, just make sure to erase this part and paste the new link. You can customize the text, add your text here. For example, if you like to change the color, you can do so, or change the font. For example, let's use Arial Black and select a new color right here. Go to the fonts and then go to add. I'm going to use this red just for sample purposes. And just the same, if you need to add a new image here, it's the same process. I'm going to use the same image as before. We close these windows, we erase the URL and add the new one. You can add a new link here. for example, nidomarketing.com website. You can also choose a different type of font, make it bigger, change the color. It's the same process. Probably the color right now doesn't make really a lot of sense, but it's just for you to know where you can go here. This part, it's also important to add it. You can add this either on the template or directly on the email. It's part of the information you need to include. But let's say you forgot to add, I don't know, maybe some more text, you can add it. Since we are working with a template, it's not allowing us to add more information. We are just working with this, but if you wish to change the template, you just need to go back to the template and edit the elements right now. But once you're happy with the text and the images here, just click Save. Then you have different options. You can send it right now, you can schedule, or you can batch schedule. If you wish to send it right now, just use your sender email, your sender name, add a subject. This is totally optional, and you choose the contacts that you want to send this email to. You can choose all your contacts. You can create a smart list. We are going to talk more about this next, or you can choose from a different tags. Just for a schedule, just make sure to select the right time and date. For example, let's say for Monday at 10:30 a.m. And just the same, you enter your email, your name, a subject line, and that's it. For example, let's say you are going to use all your contacts. Click on Save and click Review and Schedule. But if you want to use batch schedule, it's the same. You can start, for example, tomorrow. Let's edit the time, confirm. And let's say that you want to send out 10 emails each time, and you want these to be sent out every day. If you don't want these to go out on Sunday, just click on over Sunday and it should turn off. And that's it. You send just the same. You enter your sender name, email, subject line, the contacts, and click on Save. If you want to review your campaign, just click here on Preview on Browser before you schedule or you send it out. And that's pretty much it. If you need help, you can always reach out to us.
All right, thank you, Mercedes. I see a question here in the chat, Sherry. So if you choose to send it to a smart list, it will send to the contacts as of the day that it's scheduled. So if you have new contacts coming in between when you created it and when you scheduled it, it will go ahead and add those contacts based on that tag or that smart list that they've been added to. So yes, it will update those contacts if new ones are added. All right, let's move back to Patricia. Would you mind trying to share your screen again here?
Perfect, thank you. And thank you, Mercedes, for covering me here. Can you please confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so moving next, we're going to talk about workflows. So just below marketing, here's the dashboard. And this is a demo site, just like the one Willie and Mercedes shared. If you go here on automation on the left-hand side, you will see that you have some workflows. Workflows basically are just automations that tell the CRM what actions it should make when you want it to be made. This might look different depending on the plan or the membership you have. For full plan members or full CRM members, you have different automations like the ones that I'm showing you here. And for light version of the CRM, you only will have a couple of them, meaning the scheduler tour and the general inquiry one. For the purpose of this example, I'm going to talk about two specific workflows, and then individually, if you have any questions, we can go through them afterwards. So the first one is the tuition request. You might see here that there are two different workflows. So the first one is what we call internal actions. That is basically whenever someone submits a form, and I'm going to use the example of this site. These are nidosite.com. These are demo sites. So this is the request tuition information site. So whenever someone submits this form, then these actions will be implemented. And these are the internal actions in the CRM. So as you can see here, the trigger is when someone submits a tuition request form, then several actions happen. In this case, the person will be added a tag. So whenever someone submits a form, they enter the CRM, and the tag that is being added to their contact is the tuition request form completion, because that's the form that we're talking right now. Then an opportunity will be created. If your CRM account should not allow to have duplicate opportunities. An opportunity card is what Willie mentioned earlier. And the reason why we kind of avoid having duplicate opportunities is to avoid any confusion of where in the opportunities pipeline or in the admissions pipeline the contacts are. But if someone has not entered your CRM before this step, then an opportunity card will be created or updated. And with in pipeline, admissions pipeline, the one that Willie explained, in the admission stage, in this case, it will be new parent inquiry and then the opportunity name of the person. When we say opportunity name, that will be the contact name of the person. Some schools prefer to have, say, both name and last name. That is sort of personal preference, I would say, but the standard one will be only the name. Then you will be sent an internal notification, and basically this will be an email saying this will be sent usually to the contact person from the school that is managing this the CRM. Some schools prefer to have several people reviewing this, some schools just one, and it will be, the subject line will be something along the lines of link notification tuition request and then the contact name. And then the final step of this workflow is that they will be added to the tuition request email workflow. And that is the external action that the CRM will take. If you have the full membership at Nido Marketing and the full CRM membership, then you can add as many steps as you want here. But these are kind of the standard ones that we use. And every time you want to, for instance, if you want to have another tag, you can say, for instance, admissions new lead. That is totally fine. Just ensure that you're going to click here on save and then save action. If the workflows are in draft, they will not run. So even if you have the form, even if you have the form here and people request the information, if the workflow is in draft, that won't run. So you won't get the notifications nor the emails. So that's the internal part of the workflows. The external part one is the emails, where probably you'll see that in your accounts, everything, when we say external account, it will be in brackets email. So this is the email that will go out to the people, to the people submitting the form. In this case, it's only one email. And some schools, after 1 day, they are added to the email nurture workflow, which is, I'm going to talk about it very briefly before finishing. But basically, whenever someone submits a form, these internal actions happen, and then the external action happen, which is sending an email in this case. So the from name would be the school name. You probably have already configured custom values, and custom values are sort of the names or the information that stay the same throughout the CRM. For instance, in this case, your school name will be always the same. So the from name will be the school name. The from email will be the admin from email address. It can be either a personal work-related email address or something like office@schoolname.org. And the subject line will be, thank you for your interest in our school, and then a standard sort of email with the attachment of the tuition in this case, or with a URL. Once again, you can edit the content of this message at your preference, and based also on the type of families that you think are going to come into the workflow. Every time you make an edit, just always hit save action and hit save here. And that should run without any issue. In this case, we also have a wait step after the first email, and then the people would be added to a different workflow, which we call the email nurture, which is basically a longer sets of email In some cases it's 6, in some cases it's 8 emails, where you are trying to quote unquote seduce parents to, in some cases, book schedule a tour so that you can meet them at the school internally. So I think I kind of ran out of time, but that's the sort of the rationale behind workflows, and that should be it. Here you have lead magnet request, general inquiry form. This is related to the contact us form. This is related to if in your website you have sort of a magnet like a document or white paper. You also have the email nurture that is connected to the schedule a tour and where the tours are scheduled. I hope this sort of snippet and a short explanation of workflows was clear, but happy to reply to any questions you may have.
I have a question for you, Patricia, regarding the workflow automation.
Yes.
I see that you have a workflow, but depending on, in terms of at one stage, depending on the response of the customer or the parent, that workflow might change, because I may not want to execute the second or third one depending on what the response was. How do you manage that kind of a dynamic situation in your automation?
Okay, I'll go ahead, or Elizabeth, if you want to go ahead, and add your other CMs.
There's a question here in the chat too of how to manually add a person. So Patricia, will you show quickly how to add a person and then how to remove a person from a workflow?
Okay, perfect. Should I go first with Wally's question and then, so yeah, Wally, just to thank you for that. Basically, there is a feature on the CRM where the setting can be stop on response. So for instance, if I'm hoping I'm sharing now here. Yes, so for instance, I'm going to go on tuition request. If someone comes into the workflow and then yeah, maybe this is just one email, it's not a great example, but the email nurture that has perhaps this one has, for instance, as you can see, several emails. So if someone replies to you here after email 3 in settings, you can choose stop on response. This will allow the person to immediately leave the workflow so that you can continue the conversation via email, via the CRM, and via your email address. And this is depending of what you want as a school. We have several schools that have said, I would like the nurture to stop because after they reply, I want it to be more personalized. And that's perfectly fine. The workflow is set up so that it's also close to the person, but and it's personalized to your families, but obviously some schools prefer that. So this is one way to do it. If you just click stop on response and hit save. If there's a particular workflow, Wally, that you want to edit, I will encourage you to talk to your CM and then make the edits that would align better to what you want parents to feel when they contact you, or after certain, like what part of the workflow you wanted. I hope that answered your question.
That's fine, thanks. I'll follow up later on with somebody else privately.
Okay, good. And regarding the question of how to add someone manually. So for this, I'm just going to show this twice. So in a workflow, you have the builder here, and this is where you build everything. Then you have the settings, which is what I was showing you before. Here you can sort of say the time zone, the specific time window. For example, if you want to restrict certain actions not to be sent, say on weekends, then you can also edit this. And then in the enrollment history, you can, this is maybe not a great example, but in the enrollment history, you should have the record of the people that have been added to the workflow. And in the execution logs, let me just see whether there is 1 second here. Maybe in the tuition request. Yeah, there's someone here. Okay. So in the execution logs, I'm just going to put last year. This month, hopefully we have, okay. So it's not coming up right now because of the because of the account that we're using, but basically in execution logs, you see each user's sort of step. And then on the right-hand side where it says actions, you will be able to say remove from workflow. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is if you go to contacts, just hit one here. I'm going to here. It says Nido test. And then if you scroll down, you'll see a section that it's called automation. When you can see here active. So this person is active in the tuition request email. So they have received the email already. You can just remove them by clicking here X, and that should be okay. You will be prompted to say whether you want to confirm this action, and just click OK. And the same goes for adding someone to the workflow. So if I'm going to click here, I just click here, add below automation, and then click the workflow that I want to. Remember that you have always kind of two workflows, one that is internal and then the one that is external. If you want all the actions to be implemented, then take the one that is internal, and you will identify this, but usually the longer name has like whatever is in brackets, that's the internal actions. Everything that has only email in brackets, it's the external action. And please note that the internal one at the end will always have the external action attached to it. So in this case, I'm going to put general inquiry form confirmation at relevant text. And then when you want to, the event start date, it means like when you want to send it. So if you're going through a CRM, perhaps late at night, I would suggest just say Monday at 8 a.m. and then click here. And you always ensure that you sort of put the time, or if it's during the day and you're okay with sending that communication on that day at that time, then you just click now and then just click OK and then add, and then that should run the workflow. This will happen as long as the person does not have do not disturb activated. So, and this is not related to workflows, but the DND is do not disturb. So if a contact has DND activated for emails, then the workflow won't be active, or it won't be it won't run. They won't receive the emails. I hope that answered your question, Lisa, but let me know if not. I don't know if other CMs want to jump in as well on this.
Perfect. All right. Let's move on. I'm going to hand it off to Hillary now. She's going to talk about tags and smart lists. So we're going to go to the contact section of your CRM.
Yes,
Go ahead.
perfect. So let me share my screen really quick so I can show you. Oof, I think I'm having the same issue as Patricia.
Okay.
Let me see.
So we can.
Yeah, let me just jump out and yeah, let's move on with Maisel and I'll get back in. Thank you.
Good. All right, Maisel, you're up.
Hi, everyone. So yeah, I'll be talking about more about reputation management. So let me share my screen here. So I'll show. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So using the same CRM account, so you can find the reputation management here on the left-hand side. You just scroll down and go to reputation. So reputation management, or reputation, is more about, it is a good tool for sending review requests to your, especially for your current families. So later on, once Hillary is back, she'll discuss more about the smart list and all of the contacts. So this is a good tool that you can use alongside with the smart list. So for example, you want to build reputation for your school. Let's say, for example, for Facebook, you have few reviews on Facebook or some other website like Great Schools, niche.com, or any other website like My Private Schools. you can use the CRM to send review requests for those platforms. So in order to do that, you just need to go here, the reputation, and then first, if it's your first time using this tool, go to settings. Excuse me. And then in the settings here, you just need to go to review link. So in the review link, what you need to do is you need to set up first or integrate first your accounts. So for Google reviews, I know Google reviews, they have implemented this policy that they're not going to be accepting reviews from schools. So you might want to check that for your school if you're receiving reviews or not. But for Facebook, you can actually integrate your Facebook account in the CRM, and then you can ask Facebook reviews by clicking this one. And if you want to use a different platform, like Great Schools, you can use the custom link and then just copy the link to your Great Schools, and you can just paste it here, and you can have your custom link for review. And then once you have set up the review links, you can then send review requests through SMS or email. So if you want to send it through SMS, you can just click here under SMS review request. But before you send out the review request, I would recommend you configure how your SMS review request would look like. So right now, what you can see is that we're using our logo, the Nido Marketing logo. So this is the test account we have. So if you want to change your logo, or if you want to, let's say, because this is an SMS, if you want to request without an image, you can just disable this one because this is an SMS or a text message. But if you prefer to have an image, you can just enable this and you can upload your own logo by clicking this one. And below that, you have your message or SMS sent to the user. So you can feel free to modify this one on how you'd like it to be. If you want it to be more personalized every time you send it, you can also do that, or you can have like a generic one for all of your current parents. And then below this one, you have the review request behavior. So this is an action that this is the behavior once you send a review request. So first is when to send the SMS after check-in. So do you want to right after you assign it to a contact, do you want to send it immediately, or do you want to wait for an hour or a custom time? And then below that, you have an option here that it says until click. Repeat this if you want to repeat this, you can set it up, but right now the default settings is don't repeat. And then you have the maximum retry. So if you want to enable this one, let's say I want to repeat this one every 3 days, and I want to try maybe 3 tries. So you can do that. And once you're done, you can just click save here, the bottom right corner, and that should be good for your SMS review request. So if you want to send it through email, you can set it up. Hit here under email review request, and then in here you can set up your own subject line. What's the subject line for the review request email, and you can set up the review request behavior. So if you want to set it immediately, and the same with the SMS review request. And also here on the right side, you have a preview on how your email would look like. So here, for example, I know you have Elizabeth's photo here and signature, but you can modify that yourself. And also you have a button here for the email builder. So if you want to send it through email, just like what how Mercedes showed it earlier, you can use the email builder. And once you have set up everything here, the good way of sending requests, there are actually 2 ways of sending requests from here. So first, if you want to send it to a single contact, you can just go here at the top. If you can see it, there's a request tab. So here, right now we're not seeing any requests because we have not used this one for this account. But if you want to send a review request, you can also use this and then click this send review request option. So if you want to send it to a single contact, you can just search for that contact person. Let's say I want to send it to a test. So we're using to say I want to use it for this contact, you can just add a contact here, and then you have an option here to send SMS or email. But if you want to send it to a smart list, let's say if you have a group of current families that you have in your CRM, if you want to send it to them. So the other way of doing it is by going to contacts here on the left-hand side. And I've actually prepared, let's say, for example, this test smart list. So let's assume this is your current families and you have this number of current families and you want to request a review every week. So what you can do is you can select all the contacts on your smart list. And here at the top, you have this star icon that says send review request. So you can send a review request to the smart list, and then you would see this prompt. Just click OK and proceed. And then you have it will ask you for what review request you want to send, if it's an SMS or email. So if I want an email, you can just click that. And here you have 3 options. So if you want to send all review requests at once, you can do this. If you want to send it on a schedule, a specific time, let's say you want to send it next week, Monday, at a specific time, you can do this. And one good feature for this review request is to add this one in the drip mode. The thing is, we also just please take note that we don't recommend sending if you have like a list of 50 parents that you want to ask for reviews at once, and then if they're gonna give you a review at once, some platform might think of it of more of like a spam reviews, like for example Google. So some reviews might not show up on your Google My Business or Facebook. So if you have lots of contacts on your smart list, I would recommend using drip mode. So using drip mode is actually you can send this one in batches. So here, if you select drip mode, you can just put an action. Let's say send to current families. And then you have an option here when you'd like this one to start. Let's say for next month, December, I want to send to start my review request campaign. And then you have batch quantity. Let's say you have 50 people and you want to send it like 3 per week. So let's say I want to send it every Monday of the week. So I want to request send 3 views to 3 contacts per week. And then here you have an option to repeat after how many days, how many hours or minutes. So I'll just put repeat after 7 days. And this is optional, process between hours, so you can set it up from here. But you have, you can always modify on how you'd like it to be. If you want to, the good thing about drip mode is you can actually ask review requests to send this in batch. So I want to send it if I have 50. So I want it to be, let's say 5 per batch, so I can have like 10 batches of requests. And then once that's done, I can just click send review request. So yeah, and then that should be good. And then just click OK. And yeah, so that's how you can send review requests to your families. So yeah, I think that's it for reputation management. And I believe Hillary is ready, so I'll hand it over to you.
Yep,
Hillary.
let me try to share my screen now. Thank you. Okay. Okay, sorry, I need to grant my system access. My apologies. Okay, I think it should be it. Can you please let me know if you can see my screen?
Not yet.
No yet? Okay.
Oh.
Sorry. Give me 1 second. I don't know if Elizabeth wants to like touch base on something else while I do this.
Yeah, and Hillary, I can share my screen too, and you just walk me through what you want me to do. I can do that too. Here, let me
Yeah,
do-
perfect. Yeah, that will be great.
All right.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, perfect. So we have the tags that Patricia was mentioning before. So on this side of the screen, you should have the tags, and they can be added automatically or manually. So when Patricia mentioned that every time someone submits a form on the workflows, it creates a tag. So this is the tag that she was talking about. So as you can see, they have the form completion, the general inquiry. Those are added automatically every time someone fills out a form on the website. So to add a tag manually, you can open the contact, yes, and then scroll down on that side of the screen. And on tags, you can search for the tags that you want to add and just click on it. and then you will just add the other tag. So if you had a specific groups in your school would like to create a tag, let's say that you have an enrollment process that you want to complete for this first, so you can just create some tags and then go to filters. Sorry, go to filters, and you can search by tags. So you have the tags there. So let's say that you want to select the tag is donor, that we were working on that one. So just hit apply and you will have the contacts that have this specific tag. So if you want to create a smart list to send, I don't know, email marketing campaigns or reputation links, so you could just say a smart list, this context, create a name, and then you will have the smart list there. So you will have the contacts there, so you can send marketing campaigns or reputation links as well. So you can manage this list going by smart list, manage smart list at the top. And you can share it, copy the list, edit it, or even delete it on this side of the screen. So you can have easy access to these contacts and just manage as you want, as you would like. So that's pretty much the tag.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hillary.
Mhm.
All right. Any questions? Feel free to unmute or drop them in the chat if you want to see more of something or if you have any questions about your CRM.
Elizabeth, this is Wally.
Hi, Wally.
Couple of questions regarding reputation management that myself was covering. Typically, what we do is we basically have selected parents that we essentially target for request of review. We don't go through all our existing parents and all that because, I mean, some of them we know that we will get bad reviews and we want to avoid that. So myself, there's a way to have a list created just so that these are the list of desirable people that we want to target versus the general.
Yeah, thank you for, yeah, it's a good question, and Wally, thank you for that. So yeah, definitely. Just like what Hillary showed earlier, you can also create a separate smart list for all those parents that you have higher probability of getting five-star reviews. So I would recommend first is just, maybe I can share my screen again. Let's check here. Yeah, let me share it. So in the contacts, I would recommend you pick them, or maybe you can tag them one by one so you know who these families are. And once you tag them one by one, you can then, from here in the smart list, you can then select that tag. Let's say good review, or you can name it whatever you like.
Right.
And then once you have created the smart list, just like this one, let's say, for example, the test one is our, let's say all of these parents are the ones with the good reviews, you can then use this smart list to send review requests. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely yes. To answer your question, yes, you can.
And the follow-up question is that I don't know if we probably haven't answered yet, and I had stepped out for a few minutes. Is how much does it cost to use the CRM's email, number one? And is it possible for me to export my Gmail contact into CRM without having to recreate manually?
Yeah, I can answer. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Elizabeth. Yes, do you want to?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll answer the second question first. Yes, it is possible to extract your contacts from Gmail. So if you can export that into an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV. CSV is the file that is accepted in the CRM. So if you can convert that file into a CSV, as long as you have the name, the phone number, and the email address, those are the three main components or contact details that the CRM would need. And then you can then upload in the CRM. So in the same, let me just share my screen again. So in the same page, in the contact page, you have an option here to import. You can see that. Let me just move over this zoom. Yeah, import contacts. And from here, you can upload a file, which is a CSV file, and then you can then map the fields into the current CRM fields. So yeah, Name, phone number,
What-
email are the ones.
Do I need to delete some of the fields that are there in that are not required before I actually import it?
Actually, it's up to you, Willie. So you can, if those other fields you think are necessary, you can create those fields in the CRM first under custom fields, and then you can then map them. But if you think those other fields that you have are not necessary for you, don't need that in the CRM, you can delete them and then just upload the basic fields like the name, phone number, and email.
Okay. And the cost?
So Wally, the cost is very, very minimal. Right now we have the feature turned off just for some back-end stuff that we had to do, but we'll be sending an email to all of you to add that credit card again. It's like Mercedes said, it's less than a cent an email. So it's very, very minimal. Typical price is like around $2 a month, depending on how many SMS and how many emails you send from there, but it's very minimal. Right now, people can still send them and we are covering that cost right now, but we will be asking clients to add their card here in a little bit. So I just wanted to forewarn you all that that will eventually start costing you all a little bit, but it's very minimal, like $2, I would say max a month.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about the forms on the CRM. When somebody completes an admission form or other forms, earlier in the past, I used to get an email and I could see what the form segments were filled out. But now we can't see, we see that the form is completed, but we can't see the responses.
So that is a workflow that was set up beforehand. So we'll just need to have your client manager set that up for you again. That way you're getting that internal notification. Okay.
All right, thank you.
I see a question here in the chat from Sarah. Is reputation package a part of everyone's package? It is a feature that we can enable / disable on our end. So Sarah, do you know who your client manager is off the top of your head? Or does anyone know Sarah Dozman? I can't remember what school that's from. Oh, Mercedes. Okay, perfect. So Mercedes, if you'll just go ahead on their CRM and enable the reputation management for them.
Yep.
Wonderful. What else? What other questions do we have? Or anything else you'd like to see again? All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions or anything else you'd like to see, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all very much for attending. Feel free to reach out to your client manager individually. If you need some more in-depth questions about your own CRM or any other tutorials, or you want to see something done that you saw today, feel free to reach out to them and let them know. We're always happy to help with anything like that. And thank you, client managers, for joining us today. And we will welcome everyone. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate next week, we will not have town hall next week, but look out for an email to register for the following week. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.